the trap we build for ourselves, why we destroy our own success. Hello, dear viewers of True Life Stories. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that hits incredibly close to home for so many of us, yet it remains one of the most baffling mysteries of human behavior. Picture this. You have been dreaming about a new career move for months. You passed all the stressful interviews and you finally get the job offer. But instead of feeling happy, a heavy sense of anxiety builds up inside you. On your very first day, you oversleep, forget your ID, and completely mix up your new boss's name. Or think about another common situation. Your relationship has finally become warm, loving, and stable. But right at that moment, you start a massive fight over nothing, practically forcing your partner to leave. In psychology, this is known as self-sabotage. It is a strange, frustrating loop where our own brain starts working against our conscious desires. We genuinely want to succeed, stay healthy, and be loved. But subconsciously, we do everything we can to ruin it. This does not happen because you have weak willpower or lack talent. The real reasons go much deeper, hiding straight within the defense mechanisms of our mind. Chapter 1. An unfamiliar success is scarier than a familiar crisis. Our brain did not evolve to make us happy. Its primary job is simply to keep us alive. And to keep us alive, the brain prefers predictability and stability above everything else. Psychologists call this the comfort zone, even though this zone often feels more like a toxic swamp. If a person has spent years living with a lack of money, constant criticism, or deep loneliness, their subconscious mind adopts this misery as the safe baseline. The brain knows exactly how to survive under those hard conditions because it has already adapted to them. But the moment a real chance for change appears, like a major financial breakthrough or a healthy relationship, the brain treats it as a threat. To the subconscious, this new territory is completely unknown. It panics, thinking, what if it's worse over there? What if we fail? This is exactly when the emergency shutdown system kicks in. You suddenly get sick right before an important presentation, provoke an argument out of nowhere, or accidentally delete a crucial client's contact info. Self-sabotage is just a twisted way your brain tries to drag you back to your familiar, grey, but predictable routine. You end up destroying your success before it even gets a chance to scare you. Chapter 2. The script. Written in childhood. Every single one of us carries a core set of beliefs about ourselves and the world. These deep-seated ideas are formed in early childhood, shaped by the words of our parents, teachers, and our very first failures. If a child constantly hears things like, "You always mess everything up," "Nothing good will ever come of you," or "People like us just don't get rich," these phrases sink straight into the foundation of their personality. Years later, as an adult, that person might consciously strive for a promotion, but their core belief quietly whispers, "You don't deserve this." This creates a massive internal conflict. Reality, success, directly contradicts the inner belief, "I am a failure." The mind cannot stand this kind of mismatch. To restore balance, the brain subconsciously alters reality to fit the old childhood script, causing the person to tear down their own achievements. This is also where the famous imposter syndrome comes from. When praised or promoted, a person genuinely believes it was a fluke, a mistake, and that everyone will soon realize they are a fraud. To avoid the humiliation of being exposed, they start missing deadlines, and turning down great projects. To the brain, it feels safer to quit on your own terms than to wait around to be rejected. Chapter 3: Perfectionism and Procrastination. The twin brothers of self-sabotage. Many people wear their perfectionism like a badge of honor, thinking it just means they have high standards. But in reality, perfectionism is often the ultimate form of self-sabotage. It isn't actually about wanting to do your best. It is driven by a paralyzing fear of making a mistake and looking imperfect to others. A perfectionist sets the bar so impossibly high that hitting it on the first try is completely unrealistic. And that is when their closest companion, procrastination, steps onto the stage. The brain calculates the odds and thinks, if we start this project, we won't do it perfectly. People will criticize us, and it will hurt. The subconscious solution: don't start at all. So, instead of working on the goal, the person spends hours scrolling through social media or cleaning the house. Procrastination is not laziness, nor is it a time management issue. It is a way to manage difficult emotions. We put things off because we are trying to protect ourselves from anxiety, shame, and vulnerability. In short, we trade long-term success for a few minutes of temporary relief. Chapter 4: The Fear of Responsibility and Hidden Benefits. Every act of self-sabotage carries a secondary gain, a hidden benefit we get by staying exactly where we are. At first, this sounds crazy. What benefit could there possibly be in staying broke or lonely? But if you look closer, the payoff is massive. It shields you from responsibility and risk. If I never launch my own business, I can never fail, and no one can call me a loser. If I don't go on that date, I can't get my heart broken. If I stay in a low-level job, I don't have to make tough decisions or be responsible for other people's mistakes. By actively sabotaging their own progress, a person buys protection from future pain. They choose to suffer from familiar, manageable problems rather than risk stepping out to face brand new challenges. Self-sabotage gives us a false sense of control, letting us say, I didn't lose the game. I just chose not to play. Chapter 5: How to Make Peace with Your Own Brain. Breaking free from the loop of self-sabotage doesn't require harsh self-punishment or extreme discipline. Trying to fight your subconscious mind head-on always leads to defeat. You have to use a smarter, gentler approach. First, bring the habit into the light. The moment you notice yourself getting sick, putting things off, or picking fights right before a major step forward, stop. Ask yourself honestly, what am I actually afraid of right now? What specific pain is this sabotage trying to protect me from? Acknowledge the fear out loud. Once a fear is dragged out of the shadows of your subconscious, it loses most of its power over you. Second, lower the stakes. Your brain panics when it faces a massive, overwhelming goal like changing my entire life or writing a book. Trick it. Break that massive goal down into steps so tiny that your subconscious doesn't even register them as a threat. Instead of writing a whole chapter, write one paragraph. Instead of working out for an hour, do it for 5 minutes. Your brain won't see any danger in 5 minutes, and it will let you pass. Third, change how you view mistakes. A mistake is not a final judgment on who you are as a person. It is just data telling you what didn't work. Give yourself official permission to make a messy first attempt. Let yourself write a rough draft of your new life. Conclusion: self-sabotage is not a permanent flaw in your character. It is simply an outdated defense mechanism. that used to help you survive a long time ago, but is now keeping you from growing. Your brain isn't doing this to hurt you. It is just genuinely terrified for your safety. Stop beating yourself up for past missteps. Thank your subconscious mind for trying so hard to keep you safe, and gently tell it, "Thank you. I see your care. But I am an adult now, and I can handle this." Every single time you choose to take action despite the familiar fear, you build new pathways in your mind. Over time, your brain will finally realize that success is not a threat, but a safe, beautiful, and fully normal part of your life. Thank you so much for watching today's video on True Life Stories. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our deep dives into human nature and real-life experiences. Now, you can click right on your screen to jump into our latest videos and keep exploring more incredible stories with us. See you in the next video.